I was out weed whacking, but it was a bugger to get it going, and I fought and fought. I eventually got it going, and then partway through, I just started feeling awful. So I walked over to where Marg was working, sat down in the grass, and basically said, I've got to go in. I'm not feeling right. And then took my shirt off. She got me a cold face cloth. And then I just looked at her and said, phone 911. I said, something's not right.
He went into cardiac arrest about 3 minutes after they got here, and he flatlined for a little bit, 30 seconds. They got him back. I was in high hysterics. I couldn't do anything for them because they were already on top of things. We got in the ambulance. I was trying to get a hold of my girls. I don't know what was going through my mind. I saw him die 3 times, 4th including going into the hospital dead on arrival. And what was going through my mind? He can't die on me. We always agreed we'd go over the cliff together.
Martin came in without a pulse. And one of the major treatments for the kind of rhythm that he was in is to provide shocks. And so the paramedics had done a very good job at shocking him multiple times. And though they got his heart back into a normal rhythm once, he went back into the abnormal rhythm, and then they shocked him a number of times afterwards, and they weren't able to get his heart pumping again. So in discussion with Colin, who's my senior resident, we decided to do what's called a double shock. It's something that I had never done and Colin had never done. So each defibrillator has 2 pads, and we typically put the pads on the chest on either side. And so we had the second machine brought in, and we put the second set of pads on. So he had a total of 4 pads on his chest, and we discharged the machine simultaneously. And with that technique, we were able to get his heart from an abnormal rhythm to a normal rhythm. That was the start of his recovery, basically.
They didn't give up on him. From the ER up to CCU into the ward. They're all a team.
Yeah, all the way through. It was spectacular. The nurses were fantastic. And then once they transferred me into the general ward, the nurses there were fantastic. The care was impeccable.
The team really worked cohesively, and that's something that's really memorable to me, because I think Martin's success story is in a large part due to the fact that the team worked so well together.
About a week and a half after they released me, a week and a half later, I was walking my daughter down the aisle. I had to go. I wasn't really feeling up to it. I was still basically, knocked off my feet.
They didn't dance. They just went around in a circle, and she hugged him and cried, and his shirt was ruined from all the makeup afterwards.
My recovery's been good. I have my good days, and I have the odd down day. If you didn't know me, you'd never know. I've got to watch my salt intake. I've got to watch my diet.
He's on a good diet, but he was always on a good diet. Quantity control.
Yeah, it's quantity control from this point on, right? So
4-ounce steak, not a 16-ounce steak.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of people out there in the background that don't get the recognition that I'd love to thank, but most of them I don't know their names, right? Or for that matter, their faces. But yeah, there's a lot out there that go, without thanks.